I don't think it's either a flex or a failure. I think it's just, the situation.
Yeah.
It's not even a situation. You're just living your life. Yeah.
So I would not entirely say that it's a scam.
But you know that there are some people that are more productive in the chaotic environment as well.
Now, if your partner is your best friend, superb, awesome.
Like I said, people get married for so many reasons, and it's okay. So I feel like children is one of those things where you don't think about
the reward.
You're just...
Hi guys, welcome back again to our channel. Hope you guys are doing well. Today we are coming to you guys with this video called Unpopular Opinion. The unpopular opinion, I'm going to be reading it out.
Okay.
And then you let me know if you agree with it or not, and share what you think.
Okay.
She doesn't know anything about this list, so let's start. Not everyone needs therapy. Some people just need to take accountability.
Yes, I believe so. For me, therapy is basically wanting an avenue to express, to understand what is going on with you. So if you have that in friends or family already, you don't really need therapy.
I also think that it's true. Some people don't like taking accountability. Like they will do something and then blame it on something else that is going on.
Yeah.
Instead of you to just take full accountability as an adult that, oh, I was wrong, or what I did wasn't nice, I'm going to do better, I'm going to be better. So I agree, not everybody needs therapy, but we need to take more accountability.
But that is part of what therapy helps you. Because I feel like in therapy, I don't know, but I feel like a therapist should also be able to tell somebody that, oh, but this, like, you could have done better here. Do you get?
Yeah, but not everything needs therapy. Let's say, for example, you being crappy or being mean to someone. It's not therapy. It's you taking accountability that, oh, I didn't treat this person nice, and I'm sorry that I treated you this way.
Yeah.
Your 9 to 5 is not the enemy. Hustle culture is.
Yeah, I think so. Because it depends on where you're coming from.
Okay.
If you're somebody from a very comfortable family, you're likely going to be so okay with your 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But a lot of times people are hustling extra because they want to get out of poverty forever. So
yeah, hustle culture being the enemy. I can understand when they say it's the enemy because like we overwork ourselves.
Yeah.
But to some extent as well, I feel like hustle culture also makes you work yourself out of poverty. I'm not saying that it's 100% correct. But there are some times, like especially maybe the kind of wealth you want to build that 9 to 5 will not be able to help you with, and a toxic hustle culture can put that drive and motivation to make you work harder and escape that poverty. So I'm not going to entirely cancel hustle culture, but I would say just know the limits. Because if you invest with your 9 to 5, you can maybe in your 60s, 65 retire a millionaire if you invest wisely. But if you want to be your own person, be your own boss, my sister, you have to work hard. Like you have to
be honest,
hustle.
To be honest, there are levels to 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So you can hustle all you want, but you will still not be getting what a 9 to 5 person is getting.
No, it also depends on the kind of hustle you're doing.
Yes.
If it depends on the kind of hustle you're doing, there are some content creators that really hustle and they make a lot of money.
But we're saying hustle, like we're not categorizing the.
I'm just trying to I agree with you. Like not like because there are some people, bricklayers are hustlers.
Exactly.
There are a lot of people, teachers are hustlers. There are a lot of people that hustle and they don't make it. I agree.
Yes.
Where there are some hustles that you would do that if you bend down in the next 10 years, you can get your generation out of poverty.
Yeah. But like I'm all for hustling culture because like I need to step out of poverty forever.
I swear, I need to view generational wealth.
Yeah. And I feel like now is when I have the energy to hustle. Like when I get older, I might not be able to be working as hard as I'm working right now.
Sure. Being single in your 30s is a flex, not a failure.
I don't think it's either a flex or a failure. I think it's just, the situation.
Yeah.
It's not even a situation. You are just living your life. And it's not a competition in this life.
There's no right or wrong. So that you're single or married in your 30s.
Exactly.
It's okay.
What matters is how successful you are in life. Like when I say successful, I don't even mean financially. I mean like where you are mentally in life. Like
are you
the important
happy?
thing is that you're happy, you're healthy, Exactly. You're chasing your dreams and all of that.
I agree too. I don't think it's something that should even be brought up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm single in my 30s and I'm flexing, or oh, I'm in my 30s and I'm married. If you're married, that's very good for you. If you're single as well, that's also very good for you. I just feel like at every stage you are in life, embrace it with, being who you are, how happy you are, like she said, like how successful you are, not monetary terms, but like mentally, are you okay? Socially, like, are you happy with your friends, your siblings, your parents? Are you chasing your dreams? Whatever it is, I don't think there's a competition, or because I'm in my 30s, it's not okay to be single, or because I'm in my 30s, oh, I'm very proud I'm single. Do you, boo?
Yeah, it's just what you want. Nobody cares about it.
Yeah. It's neither, and it's also not a failure as well.
Even in your 40s,
Even in your 40s or even 50s. Waking up at 5 a.m. doesn't make you more productive. It just makes you tired earlier.
I wouldn't say that. This is another one where I would say, do you, as far as you're not waking up to, like they say that people that wake up in the morning are like, you just have to show that you're working hard. No, it's about the productivity, it's about the outcome. If you're waking up by 5 because there's something you need to do, or because you're trying to discipline yourself, it makes sense, but don't do it because they say that, you're supposed to wake up early. Because
imagine waking up by 5 and you're dumb scrolling from 5 to 9 a.m.
Exactly. So it's almost the same as you didn't wake up. And you might be somebody that sleeps late. If you sleep late, you're likely to wake up very late as well. Yeah. So anyone that works for you.
So I think for me, like she said, because of the kind of work I do, there was time I was working 2 jobs and also creating content. The only way for me to be able to do those 3 things was to wake up by 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Because it helped me at least for that 5 a.m. I'm able to go to the gym, come back, start on the first job, take break, do my content, then in the evening work on the second job before I can go to bed. So I think it just depends on your situation.
Yeah.
If you're someone who, let's say you work for a company in the US and you start work at 4 p.m. Like before I started the 2 jobs, I was working for the company in the US and my work starts by 4 p.m. I used to wake up by 10, 11 because my work starts at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Do you get? So it's whatever that works with your current state in life or current stage in life. Don't wake up by 5 a.m. because they say that's what makes people successful. Wake up by 5 a.m. with the intention that you want to be productive, not because they said it makes you productive.
That is no brainer, honestly.
Yeah, but I think I really agree with the 5 a.m. because most times if you're someone who sleeps early and you wake up at that 5 a.m. when everywhere is very quiet, there's a way the brain works. I cannot explain it. Like,
but you know that there are some people that are more productive in the chaotic environment as well.
Now, and there's people that are more productive at night.
Exactly.
Before, I used to be a night person. I think even up to now, I'm still a night person. Like, I'm way more productive in the evening than in the morning.
There are some people that might wake up early, and if they're not hearing all the sound of the cars and, all the chaos, they might not be able to concentrate.
Okay. College was a scam for most people, and they are too deep in debt to admit it.
College. In this century, maybe yes. I feel like the kind of jobs we have these days, at least to my knowledge, are no longer tied to your degree. In what we are doing, they've never asked us for our certificates, So, but we spent all the years in university and all of that. Education is very good, but you mustn't get it formally. For me, it doesn't matter how you get your education, but get educated. So if you get an opportunity to start working early, I know that there are so many other things that you learn in the system. There are so many things that the system teaches you, the discipline, interaction with other people. But if you feel like those are not a big deal for you, or maybe like you didn't have the opportunity to go through like a college, it's not a big deal. You don't have to feel like you're missing out or rob the bank to do all these things and get yourself in debt. Yeah.
So I won't entirely say it's a scam, especially if you choose your course wisely. Like if you're someone that wants to study medicine.
Oh, those ones are inevitable.
Yeah, you have to go to school. It's not a scam. So I think that maybe the mistake that a lot of us made were studying things that we didn't want to study just because we had to be in college. And I think that is also a little bit different for those that grew up in Nigeria and those that grew up in the States, because in Nigeria, our school fees was affordable, so we could pay. Most people don't have any debts graduating from school, but I know in the US or
you can get student loan.
You get student loan and all of that. So it's a bit different for us in Africa than those living abroad. So I would not entirely say that it's a scam, but where I might say is that maybe it could be a waste of money is if you're studying something that is not relevant, you know, something that is not, I don't want to mention any course before people will come for me, but there are some courses that you don't necessarily need, or there are some jobs that you don't necessarily need need to go to college for to be able to qualify for it.
But then there are some other people even in the Nigeria that you have to pay up front. There are some people that went to uni, like went through university, like did all the studies and all of that, but they came out and there's no job, and they still had to go back to taking a skill, you know.
Sure.
So in that instance, I feel like it was a bit of a waste of time, because what you're doing now is not even related to whatever you've learned in school.
Sure.
So sometimes it can be a waste of time depending on what you want to do with your life.
Okay. You don't need to turn your hobby into a side hustle. Some things are allowed to just be fun.
Yes, 100%. You don't have to make money out of every single thing that you know how to do.
Yeah.
If I like to do DIY, for example, I don't have to make it a business. If I know how to make hair or cook or do all these things, hello, I'm doing it for myself.
And the thing is, like, when you now turn it into a business, at some point
you start losing the joy.
Yes. Because now there are some metrics, OKRs, things you have to meet up, and
it goes out of passion and now becomes a business that you just have to.
Yeah. So it's not every single thing. It's not every single hobby that you turn into a business. I agree. Yeah. Being a stay-at-home parent is harder than most corporate jobs.
I haven't been one. I would think so.
Being a stay-at-home mom.
If I'm judging from my personality, I don't think I'm somebody who just likes to stay. You know, I like to do different things depending on how I'm feeling. I don't think I would like to be boxed to. If I choose it, like when people choose that, it's very okay because that's a lot of work. You know, but I'm a creative. I like to be hands-on on things, so I would like to continue in the industry.
The truth is, I think being a stay-at-home mom is harder than corporate job. Do you know why I say that? Because there's no clock out for you.
I think it's harder.
With my corporate job, I can go on vacation 2 weeks. With my corporate job, I can take sick leave. Being a stay-at-home mom is 247. I personally cannot even do it.
Even the part of interacting with people every day, like
exactly,
having co-workers.
And it's not like even when you go to the corporate job, it's not like you're going to be seated for 8 hours. You can take breaks, go for lunch.
Exactly.
But stay-at-home mom, Jesus
in the same environment, like every day.
Like I raise hand for them.
Some people love it. Some people really love it, and I applaud them.
But
I don't think I would. I would like to combine both, best of both worlds.
Yeah, I can't do it. Loving your job is overrated. It's a job, not your identity.
It's a job. It's very important to be passionate about what you do. But it's not realistic to always be passionate about your job. It's not realistic. There are sometimes that you hate your job, but you have to do it because it's a job. It's what pays your bill.
I agree. I think because I always say a time my job almost became my identity. Like any small thing, I'm a software engineer. I'm like, calm down. Coming down is just a job. But there are people that really, really love what they do, and that's very amazing. I think it's very super cool to love what you do, but it's a job. It's a part of life. It's not your entirety.
Yes,
it's a part of you. If your partner isn't your best friend, you picked wrong. I don't agree.
No.
I don't agree because there are some things that female friendships can give you or male friendships can give you that your partner cannot. So it's okay for your partner to be your partner and you still have your best friend. I think they can coexist.
Yeah.
I think they can.
And most partners would understand. I think most partners would even want you to have a friend.
I think they can get crazy. Like if your partner is your best friend, superb, awesome. But I don't think that you picked wrong if your partner is not your best friend.
Like I said, people get married for so many reasons, and it's okay. So people get married for money. I wouldn't encourage, but people do.
People do,
you know? People get married for protection or even for the status and so many other reasons. Maybe it's valid to them, you know. So I wouldn't tell people why they should choose a partner. Some people get a partner because they want a best friend. Because they agree into being best friends, and that's amazing. No, but everybody cannot get to that position.
I agree. Going on vacation with friends is a fast track to ending friendships.
Hey.
Who are your friends?
No.
Who are your friends? I feel like it's supposed to bring you closer. I think maybe if you have people who are not nice, maybe you can. But I enjoy traveling with my friends.
I was thinking the person was even going to say sharing your entire life with friends.
Yeah, it might be.
Sometimes that could be, you know, but it depends on who.
Yeah, so I think it depends on the people you travel with and also their characters. But like,
I mean, if you don't travel with friends, it's not as fun as
like I enjoy solo trip, but when it also comes to like group trip with my friends,
group trips are better.
Yeah, they're very interesting.
They're
very interesting.
Is it like maybe like this person is saying it so that you would have the, you know, when you don't go on a vacation with somebody, you can now tell your story the way you want. You can now over package it, you know. But I feel like going with friends is better. Okay,
the last but not the least. Influencers work hard. It's a real job, even if you don't respect it.
Of course.
People.
They don't know. Of course. I feel like...
See, I don't know. I can understand when people like get angry when influencers make a lot of money because it's like, oh, you just shoot a video and you get it.
They're just dancing.
But let me tell you, before they got to that level, they had to put in work.
Yeah.
I create content. I'm not an influencer yet. I hope to be. I'm not an influencer yet, but it is real work. Showing up every day consistently, whether you're happy or sad, the algorithm doesn't care.
Yeah.
You have to show up. And before brands even pick you, you must have built a certain level of community and engagement for brands to even reach out to you and say, oh, I want to pay you. And the thing is that whether you show up or not, if you don't show up, you don't make money.
Yeah.
That's just it. It's the way you show up that brands will reach. So if you stop posting today, the algorithm leaves you and moves on to the next happening person. Like imagine your income being derived from is dependent on whether people like you or not. So I don't, when people say, oh, it's not a real job, I'm like, try it. If you think it's easy, just try it. It's not easy.
But I think it's what comes with being an influencer anyways, you know. I wish people know more. I wish people are more knowledgeable about it, but it's just what they have to deal with. Because sometimes if you see somebody, especially when people show the behind the scene, you'll be like, you know, why were you faking it or something like that? But they're not trying to fake. They're probably being paid to promote a certain ad, and you have to make it make sense.
Sure.
So when you see people dancing or doing all these contents, if you don't like Shakukuma pass, don't come and be telling people what they should or not do.
True.
Because they put in a lot of effort into it.
True. Okay. Children aren't a blessing. They're a 200,000 plus financial commitment minimum.
It's a lie. Children are a blessing. For me, children are a big blessing, depending on how you raise them.
Depending on how you raise them, one. I think another thing too, I think maybe because most times too, people don't really make financial plans before they have kids.
Yes.
So that's why like it gets to them and they have to overwork and because of the kids.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not blaming anybody for maybe.
I know it takes a lot.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot.
Yeah.
Like watching my friends, even my parents, give up their dreams, sacrifice their time to. I agree. Like children are a lot of work, but I wouldn't say that they're not a blessing because in turn now we're the ones taking care of our parents. So imagine if they didn't. Maybe if they didn't have us, they would have more money and all of those things. But then having to see their children or all the effort they put in being fruitful and yielding something, and you call them, they are happy. I don't know if I would say that the effort amounts to the reward. I can't necessarily say it, but yeah,
I feel like children is one of those things where you don't think about
the reward.
You're just doing it because at the end of the day they are also like fulfilling you as you're raising them. So like don't think about like what you're going to get in return, but think about, just focus on giving out the joy. You know, for me, I feel like having a child is like giving another human being all the opportunities I never had. Exactly. Like watching somebody grow through you. Do you get? So I feel like children would always be a blessing.
Some children might not really be blessings, in terms of like, let's say for example, you try all the best you can to raise someone, all of a sudden the person is a murderer. I don't know how that person is a blessing, but I get it. We can't choose our children. You can't really choose your kids, but we just pray that at the end, all the effort you put in will be rewarded by heaven, either here on earth or afterlife.
Well, let me ask, like on this same topic, do you feel like children are like an investment?
I don't like to put it that way because like the way, maybe because of how I grew up and even the black tax, all of like a lot of people going through it, like it's going to be hard to not say that they're not investments because time that you're supposed to be using to maybe pour into yourself, you're pouring it into your kids. So indirectly they're an investment, and it's very hard for you not to look at it that way. But I try as much. That's why I'm preparing for my retirement. I'm saving so that I don't have to, depend on my kids. That's also why I'm taking a little bit of time to get myself to a certain level before I bring kids into this world. So I don't have to blame them that, oh, you paused my career. Definitely they will delay my career in one way or the other, because when you get pregnant, you're going to take like a year or whatever off work and all. But I'm trying to get my mindset to a place where my children are not my investment. But when you think about it, it's very difficult not to say that they're not an investment, because time you put in to train them, you're making an investment, but not on yourself now, but on them.
Yes.
So that's how
I feel the same. Like, I know it sounds cliche to say, it sounds somehow to say that your children are an investment. Oh, maybe like you're having children because of retirement plan. It's not necessarily because of retirement plan. It's not even necessarily because of the financial part.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, call it whatever you want, but you're trying to raise your children so that they grow into like responsible human beings, and that reflects on you as well. And in turn, even if you have all the finances, you still need them. Like, you will still be proud to have your children around. Like when you
like even just looking at my dad, like his death and the burial and all, it was because he raised us to be good children that we're able to give him that last honor that he deserved when we had to bury him.
Like, remove the financial part. You can still have all the money you have, but still be craving the presence of your children. Like, you still be craving who to spend that money on. So even having somebody to spend the money on is also a blessing. Well.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, guys, that's it for this particular episode. I know that if we keep going, the conversation will not end. But we'll probably do a part 2 of the unpopular opinions, and we want to hear your unpopular opinion as well. Make sure to leave it in the comments below, and we'll read all of your comments. Thank you so much for joining us in today's episode, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.